Hey there, how there, ho there, it's Jeff Carter, and welcome you to yet another Above the Rim college basketball tournament. We're doing the 1988 to 1991 tourney based off of teams from the 1988 to 91 set that I got in addition to the actual game itself. So what ended up happening, of course, the previous video, we talked about the whole shebang with the fact that when we did this tournament, every school that had multiple teams from 88 to 91 got it one, and of course one team, and then I I would add other schools in case like Cinderella runs or something. If I remember correctly, I don't have the best college basketball memory in the world. I mean, I am Canadian, but that doesn't mean it. Shit. Nevertheless, so we have teams from 88 season, 89 season, the 90 season, the 91 season. We have what 38 or something I set up, but anyway. Okay, so we have six preliminary round matches, and these six teams will be added to 26 teams that made it through. All right. Our first one will be the 1988 Richmond squad against the 1990 Minnesota. I'm actually shocked the 91 Richmond squad was not in the game because I think that was the Richmond squad that were the 15th seed when they won and became the first 15th seed to win a tournament match, being number two. And then 1990 Minnesota. We got to play, and it will be Minnesota who will move on 63-58 with 13 points from Newburn. 21 from Wolford, Stapleton, Rice, Atkinson. I think he went to the NBA. Rosenberg, but yeah, Richmond tried, but Minnesota beat them. We have the 1990 UCLA squad against the 1990 Bama, who actually did they get to the Final Four or no? They lost in the quarters, I think, right? I think they lost to no, they lost the Sweet 16 to Loyola, which was one of the highest scoring games in the tournament. And they beat LA 90-77. Robert Ory, future icon with the Kings and Lakers and Spurs, with 22 points. David Benoit, no, that can't be right. Askins 16. Don McClain, 22 points. Tracy Murray, future Raptor, with 20. They weren't really the big name UCLA squads. Loyola Marymount will go 1988 for 1989 Virginia, excuse me, against 1988 Villanova. And Nova winning 84-67, one game match. Plansky with 13 points, West with 16. Benjamin Enright. The 89 Virginia squad having Brian Stiff, former Nugget, and John Crotty also went into the NBA. Morgan with 14. It's basically the bench. So Villanova wins. Ball State, 1990 Texas against 1990 Ball State. And it will be Ball State with a gigantic win, 79-74. Texas didn't really have much, but yeah, 22 points from Miller in 24 minutes off the bench, 4 personal fouls, but yeah, Miller did well. So Ball State moves on. 89 Stanford versus 89 Syracuse, and it will be Stanford winning 79-77. Todd Lichty, the shooting guard, his memorable stuff. Flahoff, Adam Keefe, future Jazz player. Syracuse, 23 points from Thompson. Derek Coleman, 18 points. He was still around. Part of the 87 Syracuse squad that lost second place, got second place in the tournament in Indiana. Billy O with 8 points. Trevor Douglas with 11. So yeah, Stanford beat Syracuse and Loyola Marymount against the 1988 Purdue squad. Now, of course, I'm thinking of a couple things. Is number one, is Hank Gathers on this roster or not? Of course, that was the year that Hank Gathers led the Division One in NCAA. Well, in '89, sorry, he led in points and rebounding, but Loyola um, suffered greatly as Gathers collapsed in the West Coast Championship semifinal game against Portland. It was the semifinal, and then ESPN was going to have the final game, but Gathers died, and that was just tragic. He proceeds to fall. So anyway, Loyola shocked a lot of people by getting to the quarterfinals, and Loyola will win 104-94. And no, Hank Gathers isn't on the roster. This is the roster for 1990. Kimbo with 25 points. Jeff Fryer with 37, including 5 3-pointers. Number 10, 88 Purdue. Scheffler, 16 points for Seattle Seahawk. Seahawk, Sonic. So all the wins. So now we've got our 6 teams in the preliminaries. Our first round of 32 game is 1990 UNLV against 1990 Georgia Tech. Did they meet in the Final Four or something? I can't remember. But UNLV 94-85 over GT. Then Scott 31 points, Oliver 24, Malcolm Mackey 4 points. He would be better for Georgia Tech later on. UNLV 18 points for Larry, Ogman with 9 points, Anderson Hunt, Greg Anthony. A great foursome. Bill Scurry and Young also got points too. Yeah. Larry Johnson, Grandma Ma, former Charlotte Hornet, and New York Knicks, Stacey Ogman for the Pistons, Anderson Hunt could have done much in the NBA, but he didn't, and Greg Anthony for the Knicks. UNLV winning the championship in real life, 94-85. Next up, we have 1990 Clemson against 88 Temple. Clemson, who won on a buzzer beater. No, sorry. They got beaten on a buzzer beater by UConn in the Sweet 16 against 88 Temple, who won 86-60. 19 points by Friends Week. Everyone, Mark Macon, everyone in Temple got double-digit wins. 14 points for Dale Davis. Cash with 12. Eldon Campbell with only 8 points. So yeah, Temple winning. I believe 88 was the year that Temple was on a run to try to win the championship, and Bill Cosby was interviewed pregame, and he said that CBS showed him eating a hot dog, and basically his wife got mad at him for his cholesterol ranking. Next, we have 88 Iowa against 88 Oklahoma. Oklahoma was supposed to win the NCAA tournament in 88, but Kansas beat them. And with over 100 points, they beat Iowa 116-94. BJ Armstrong, future Bull, and supposed to be Raptor before he fought a trade to Golden State. 16 points by Reeves. Oklahoma 25 from Blaylock. Stacey King with 22. Horace Grant with 18. All of them future NBAers. Blaylock for Atlanta, among others. Stacey King for the Bulls, and Horace Grant was a Bull/Magic. Wiley 22 points off the bench in 21 minutes. Next up, we have ourselves 89 Arizona versus 88 Rhode Island. Steve Kerr on that 89 Arizona squad. That's Rhode Island, the team with Tom Garlic or something, because his father was in the stands. He's blind, but basically, you know, it was a great story for Rhode Island. And they took it to overtime, but they lost. Tom Garrick, 16 points. Chris Owens had 30 points for Rhode Island, who lost in overtime. Judd Buechler, future Bull. Sean Elliott, future Spur. Cook Mason. Kenny Lofton, yes, that Kenny Lofton. No point in 29 minutes, but he helped out with 6 assists. Murlock with 14. I thought Steve Kerr was on this team. I guess it's the year before. Never mind. So 89 Arizona won. 88 Pitt versus 1990 UConn. You know, Pitt sent it in Jerome against the UConn squad that he who lives by the buzzer beater when they beat Clemson dies by the buzzer beater, in which Duke beat them to get to the Final Four. And UConn wins 80-66. Jerome only scoring 6 points. Charles Smith, 20 points. UConn, 20 points by Gwynn off the bench in 19 minutes. That's an amazing job. Like the Scott Burrell, who turned down baseball for this sport. And Tay George was the guy who put up that buzzer beater in real life. Tay George. 88 Bradley against 89 Stanford. I think that's Hersey Hawkins versus Todd Lichty. And the win for Stanford is Hersey Hawkins got 18 points. Radiches. 26 from Lichty, 21 from Wright. Stanford continuing their march. 1990 Michigan State against 90 Bama. Michigan State got bit by Georgia Tech. I believe it was the quarterfinals when the shot they thought was did not beat the buzzer. 90 Bama with all those points. And in the end, it will be MSU with the 76-69 win. 69, that's so nice. Montgomery and Castler. Steve Smith, 14 points off the bench in 21 minutes. Speaking of Rickfield, Corey, Cheatham, and Benoit with double-digit points. But yeah, Michigan State beats Bama. 90 Loyola against 89 NC State. The last hurrah for Valvano. And Loyola wins 94-89. Last hurrah. Corcherini got 3 points. Monroe, 31 points. Valvano was Tongugu Leota, future Timberwolf, and signed among others, with 8 points off the bench. Bo Kimball, 33 points. Hank Gathers, 16. Oh, Gathers was eligible to play. He didn't play the first game. He played the second one. 1988, Louisville against the 1989 champion Michigan Wolverines, who actually suffered big because their head coach, what's his face, Bill Fisher, I think it was. He decided to take the job in Arizona State, but he said, "Well, don't worry, I'll still lead Michigan in the NCAA tournament." However, Bo Schembechler, the a, athletic director, the AD, said, "No way, a Michigan man will lead Michigan," and that's when Steve Fisher came in, and Michigan won the title. And Michigan crushes Louisville 102-78. Never Nervous Purvis, 15 points. Fulton Spencer also there too, but Michigan wins 34 from Glenn Rice, future Hornet, and Heat, among others. Sean Higgins, Terry Mills with 15 points, Ramil Robinson 14. Lloyd Vaught, former Clipper, 28 points in 28 minutes off the bench. Osterben and Palinka. Osterben. What a name. 91 Yukon. Wait, why did Yukon get 2 teams? Oh, frig. I botched it. UConn was only supposed to get 1 team. I guess I added a second team by mistake. Against 91 East Tennessee, I think they pulled off a massive upset that year. And UConn wins that one. Burrell, 26 points. Smith, 17. East Tennessee with Keith Jennings with 8 points. English, 25 points in 23 minutes off the bench. Ball State versus Kansas. The Kansas squad that won the championship, Denny and the Miracles. And there's no miracles. Ball State with a win. Kansas only scored 48 points. How? Denny scored 13 points. How did the team suck? Like, Ball State rolled them into a security. Yeah, like, how did Ball State beat Kansas? That's a shocker. That's a gigantic shocker. 91 Indiana versus 1990 North Carolina. 90 North Carolina with the big upset. Rick Fox last second shot to beat Oklahoma. 1990. And NC wins 81-72. Trevor changing 5 points, but in a few years he'll be much better. 19 points by Rick Fox, the Canadian. Madden, 18 points. Pete Chilcutt, future Grizzly, with 8 points. Herbert Davis, future Nick. George Lynch, future Sixer, among other, and Hornet, I think. Wenstrom and Cherry, all of them ship. 89 Illinois, who lost a famous semifinal to Michigan, faced 90 Arkansas. Please, Arkansas. Woohoo! So, woo! 91-68. Todd Day with 25 points. Lee Mayberry with 17. Future Grizzly. Oliver Miller, not yet in his element, but he'll be for the next year. Illinois, Battle with 16. Nick Anderson, future Magic. Choker, 18 points. Arkansas wins. And then you got Xavier versus Georgetown, the 1989 Georgetown squad that almost got upset by Princeton. Princeton was a 16 seed and Georgetown was a 1 seed. You got 1990 Xavier. I think they were in by proxy, but Georgetown won 76-70. Jackson with 25. Alonzo Mourning with 16. Charles Smith 11. Dikembe Mutombo 9 minutes off the bench. He moved much better. 17 points by Hill for Xavier. 2 more games left. 91 Duke, the champions of the 91 season, who shocked UNLV and Kansas to get their first ever school title. 88 Villanova, and Duke wins. Players give 17, Wilson with 20, but in the end, Duke wins thanks to, what does HTML mean? Oh, that's just on the internet thing. But yeah, 29 by Thomas Hill, Grant Hill with 15, Christian Lander with 12, Bobby Hurley with 8, Billy McCaffrey, who was pretty good for Duke, and then transferred for some reason. Antonio Lane, all that, but yeah, Duke beat Villanova. And finally, we have 90 Minnesota versus 89 Seton Hall, who took second in 1989. And in the end, it will be Minnesota winning 88-76. 22 from Burton, 18 from Coffee, 19 from Morton, 12 Green. Andrew Gates, the Aussie, with only 4 points in 24 minutes. Ramos from Puerto Rico. So we're down to the Sweet 16. Our first Sweet 16 is 90 and LV, the champions, against 88 Oklahoma, the runner-up that year. And it was Oklahoma who sent LV Pasaki, 95-89. 30 points by Stacey King, 12 by Mookie Blaylock, 29 by Larry Johnson, 21 from Butler, but it was not enough. How about that? And Oklahoma moves on. Battle of Yukon saw the 90 Yukon squad winning 70-68. The team that should have been there. I don't know why 91 Yukon was there. But 18 from Tate, George, and Smith. They did their job. Next up is 90 Arkansas against 89 Georgetown. Yick. And woo! A big win for Arkansas. 94-70. Chunky Salsa. 28 from Todd Day. 16 from Oliver Miller. I guess he didn't start for some strange reason. Mayberry 11 points. Howell was 17. Georgetown 13 from Jackson. So only got 3 points. Well, 5 personal fouls, and in college, that's the 5 foul rule. You're fucked. You're fucked. 94-70. See, in options, they just say home court advantage, close game, alternate possession college, 5 personal fouls, and blah, 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 blah. So we win. Beautiful. 89 Stanford against 90 Ball State. Todd Lichty will lose. Ball State in the quarters. Yikes. 19 from Miller. Ravenno and Wright with 14. Lichty only 8 points in 36 minutes. So Stanford can't believe it. Ball State's in the quarterfinals. 90 North Carolina against 89 Arizona. 2 teams for dreams. Arizona with the win. Sean Elliott with 29. Buchler with 10. Kenny Lofton finally got some points. He got 8. Williams and Hubert Davis 15. Rick Fox only got 7 points. So Arizona beats North Carolina. Arizona. 89 Michigan against 88 Temple, and it will be Temple with the win. Another national champ of that year era went down 85-83. 20 from Fensreek, Perry 19, making 19. Glenn Rice got 23 points. Romeo Robinson 8 points. Let's see, the 88 champion Kansas I think is gone. The 89 champ, I think, is out, right? Yeah, they're out. The 90 champ is out. The 91 champ is still in. That's Duke. They're the only one of the 4 seasons real champions. 90 Michigan State, 90 Minnesota. And it will be Michigan State moving on to the quarterfinals. Steve Smith with 29 points. Minnesota had 22 from Litz. '90 Loyola versus '91 Duke. This will be a big round of 16 matchup. And it's Loyola with the 192 win. 24 from Kimball, 22 from Gathers. Fryer had 18. So yeah, they've been on fire. Later, 17 McCaffrey, 16 before being going to transfer. 11 from Bobby Hurley, 13 from Grant Hill. Guback with 11. Tony Lane could not score. Thomas Hill there, but yeah. First quarterfinal is 1990 Yukon versus 90 Michigan State. They have 3 games. And M State sweeps Connecticut. 26 from Mans. Smith was 17. Tate George only 12. Smith was 17. Scotty Burrell with 4. But yeah, Michigan State's in the quarterfinals. Next up, we have 89 Arizona against 88 Temple. And in the end, it was Temple winning game number 3. So they're in the semifinals. Great job. Macon with 19. Evans with 17. Arizona, 21 from Sean Elliott. Kenny Lofton just can't score to save his life. Good thing he took the baseball deal. Ha 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 ha. All right. 1988 Oklahoma versus 1990 Loyola. 2 high-scoring teams. And in the end, it was Oklahoma who sent Loyola home. 39 from King, 25 from Horace Grant. Blaylock with 18. 35 from Kimber. Gathers could only get 11 points, unfortunately. But yeah, Bo Kimmel Fryer just couldn't shoot to save his life. So Oklahoma with a gigantic win. Gets Loyola on the road. 90 Ball State, 90 Arkansas. We better win. We did. We swept Ball State. So Arkansas's got a top 4 spot. Ball State sucked. 14 from Thompson, but 20 from Howell, 16 from Lee Mayberry. Oliver Miller got 6 points. Hurley 16. And our reward is Michigan State. So it's 2 teams from 88 and 2 teams from 1990. Oklahoma made the Final Four. Temple did not. Arkansas 1990 did not. They lost in the quarters. And 90 Michigan State fell in the quarterfinals to Georgetown. It's a 5-game series. And Oklahoma sweeps Temple in Defiant Powder and puts Bill Cosby in his place. So the 88 Sooners win 79-72. Horace Grant 22 points, Stacey King 9, 30 from Finn Riesbeck, but Temple loses. So Oklahoma's in the final. So Michigan State. Well, if Arkansas or Michigan State lose or win a game, if it's 3-1 or 3-2, whoever ends up losing it will take third place. And Arkansas beats Michigan State in 4. That's the good news for Michigan State. As the 90 MSU squad will take third place because they at least won one game in the semifinal. So Michigan State will take that third place. 88 Temple will take fourth. So 90 Arkansas in the final. Amazing. 23 from Hal. Dan Hal getting points. Lee Mayberry 5 points. 29 from Steve Smith, but it was not enough. Arkansas is in the final. 1990 Arkansas took care of 89 Illinois, who went to the Final Four. 89 Georgetown, who was supposed to get to the Final Four but failed. They took down Ball State and Michigan State. Todd Day, Oliver Miller, Lee Mayberry, all future NBAers. And the 1988 Oklahoma. Is it 1988 Oklahoma? It has to be. Yeah, 1988 Oklahoma, who lost in real life in the final to Kansas. They took down 88 Iowa. They took down 1990 NLV, the champions. They took out Loyola, the highest scoring team, 1990, and the 88 Temple squad. So they think they're okay. Stacey King, Harvey Grant, and Mookie Blaylock, all future NBAers too. So it's a battle of the NBAers. And hopefully for me, I see a Razorbacks title. I actually think this will be too close to call. I mean, Arkansas and Oklahoma both end up not needing the preliminary round. And in the end, it will be Oklahoma. Arkansas was up 2-0. It was like, yeah. Hockey pucks. Are you kidding me? 88 Oklahoma. Another Oklahoma team wins the title. Well, at least Arkansas takes second and will maybe get some kind of advantage later on. But yeah, 90 Arkansas. Can't believe it. Oklahoma wins in 6 games and takes the title. So let's take a look at the teams. The 90 Arkansas stats. The stats. Todd Day, 18.9 points per game. Hal, 14.5. Mayberry, 11.1. Miller only playing starting 8 games out of 14. Credit with 8 starts. Marks with 2 starts. So Arkansas used a bullpen by committee. 88 Oklahoma, 20.8 from King, 18.7 from Horace Grant. He's played. Yeah, Mullins and Martin actually started games. I don't know why. Jones with 7 points, 7 games. But Oklahoma does its job. The 88 Razorbacks. I mean, you know what I mean. So let's see. Season, we've got that. Team pack. 88, 82. So we'll set up 80, 81, 82. Because it's 3 seasons. Should we do it because it's 3 seasons or no? Well, you got 75, 79, 70, 74. Yeah. Okay, so how many schools have double? Arkansas does, the 81 team. Well, I got to put the 81 team because that's the team that U.S. Reed and Company DePaul, the 81 team that was supposed to do well. Georgetown, 82 when they went to the finals. 1980, Georgia Tech. Indiana, 1981, the team that won it all. Right? Iowa, 1980. Kentucky, I'm going to say 1980. Louisiana State, I think the 1981 team that took fourth. 1980 Louisville, I think they were the champs. Marquette will go 1980. Maryland will go 1980. Missouri will go 1982. North Carolina 82 because, Michael Jordan, 1981 Notre Dame. Oregon State 1981, they were supposed to do so well. Our Tulsa teams will go 81. 1980 UCLA losing the final. Virginia 1980 1982 was supposed to be their year. Wake Forest will go 1981. Weber, Wichita, Wyoming. Okay, now the schools we've won. UAB gets a chance. Alabama, I'm going to say no. Arizona State's got their stuff. BYU, Clemson, DePaul, Duke. Yeah, sure. 1980. Fresno, yeah. Georgetown, Georgia Tech, Houston, 1982. Yes. Idaho, I think they've had a chance. Iowa, Illinois, no. Iowa, Kansas State, yeah, because they were the team that took down Oregon State in that upset. Loyola, Illinois, yeah, they're a powerful school. Memphis, yeah. Minnesota, no. No. Ohio State, no. Oregon State, Purdue, yes. Joe Carroll, St. Joseph's should be the 81 team by proxy. St. John's, no. Rutgers, no. Syracuse, yeah. Tennessee, I think they had some kind of run, some kind of thing. Utah, yeah. Villanova, no. Virginia Tech. No, we're gonna make it a 36 team tournament. Yeah, we'll make it a 36 team tournament. 7, 5, 3, and everyone else is a game. That's the one. All right, so that'll be the next project. Anyway, I'm Jeff Diamond. Adieu.